Through travel and the media, Americans have developed an ever-escalating interest in foreign foods. I'm J.R. Newcomb. Join us as we travel around the world of great tastes in our culinary series with San Diego's opera-singing chef, the most talented and the most beautiful, Elizabeth Padsiadlo. Elizabeth, it is so great to have you back with us. Tell me, where are you going to take us today on our little sojourn of savory goodies?
Oh, I love that. Wow, sojourn of savory goodies. Well, I was thinking we would go to Paris, France, and whip up some delicious fromage with spinach using lots of fresh herbs.
Yes.
And I certainly hope that you'll come by to sample some when we get ready.
Well, I'd like to sample it now, but I better get out of here and wait until I can no longer resist
All right.
the wonderful aromas.
And I'll trade you some cheese for the hat later,
Right,
eh?
deal. It doesn't
Okay,
fit
all
on you.
right. Well, I am very excited to be here and share this really delicious recipe with you guys. Today we're working with fresh herbs, which I think is traditionally very French. We've got fresh oregano that's been washed from my garden. We've got tarragon. I had to purchase it. It's hard for me to grow it, but it's delicate licorice smelling herb. And if you don't have tarragon, you could actually use fennel. And then we're going to take some fresh dill, some thyme, fresh thyme. You can use dry if you like, and I would use half as much. We've got walnuts, ground walnuts, and breadcrumbs, and the piece de resistance is the goat cheese. What we're going to be making today is herbed goat cheese. We're going to brown it in walnut butter, and we're going to serve it on top of a plate of beautiful freshly washed spinach and drizzle on top of it balsamic vinegar mixed and infused with garlic and a good olive oil, salt and pepper, and I'll show you all of that today. Let's get started. But before we do, as you all know, I am the opera singing chef, and I couldn't set a whole thing off without a song. So with me today is my accompanist, John Danke, who will be joining me. He is my true friend and great pianist, and we've been on a long journey together. And we're going to sing one of the few French pieces I sing. It will be Habanera from Carmen. We'll get in the French attitude. L'amour est un oiseau rebelle que nous ne pouvons apprivoiser. Assez bien et vont qu'on le pelle, si lui convient de refuser. Rien n'y fait, malheureusement prière, le paraît bien la traisette. Et c'est l'autre que je préfère, il n'a rien dit, mais il m'appelait. L'amour est enfant de bohème, il n'a jamais, jamais connu des lois. Oh, si tu n'aimais, mais pas je t'aime, si je devais prendre de toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si tu je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde de toi. Here's where the French attitude comes in, okay? L'amour est toujours rebelle, battu de laisse s'envola. L'amour est à tout pour l'attendre, tout pour y tant plus il est là. Et tout, vite, vite, il n'a rien dit, mais il m'appelait. Lettre, vite, il t'aurait dit, mais il te tient. L'amour m'aimes, si je t'aimais, prends garde de toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si tu je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde de toi. Well, I was busy while I was singing, you may have noticed. And John, you are on as always. What I have been doing as I was singing my song of love to you is I have been pulling the leaves from my tarragon, leaf by leaf. Now, some people will be a little more careful about this, but I'm just kind of pulling them off, enjoying myself. You know, when you work with fresh herbs, it's a little tedious, I have to be honest, but my goodness. The fragrance of those fresh herbs, the licorice, the tenderness of it all. I'm a poet when it comes to food. I can't help myself. So I've got a nice pile of some tarragon here, and now I'm going to use a very French word. Yes, when you speak French, you should always look like you are kissing. So we are going to chiffonade the herbs. And what I've done is I've rolled them into a tight ball, like I'm going to make a cigar, right? Okay, and now I'm going to take my blade and slice it very small into little ribbons, which is what chiffonade means, is slicing it into little ribbons. Okay, I get really crazy here. Woohoo! Okay, now we're going to take our tarragon and we're going to put it in this bowl right here. Now, please don't worry about the exact measurements because we will have those posted on our website, tasteofpace.net, and we'll talk about that later. But we've got our tarragon in here. Now we're going to, here's a stem of oregano, and we're going to strip it right down like so. Just like that. Couldn't be easier. And we'll do this one too. And we're pulling it against the leaf. It's very simple. And what a beautiful, vive la fragrance. Oh, the French, you know. I am not French. You may have picked up on that. However, I was influenced by my godfather, who was French, actually. He was a spy during the Second World War. And he and my mother were very close friends. And spending time at my godfather's house in Mill Island in West Virginia meant much good cooking, fresh fruit out of the orchards, freshly butchered chickens, you know, freshly grown potatoes right out of the field. I mean, I grew up on a small farm. We didn't have to rely on supporting ourselves with the farm. So what I did there is I just chopped some oregano. I put it in with the tarragon. And now what we have here is probably the most tedious one. This is the thyme. It's very branchy, and I've washed and dried mine. Again, if you don't want to do this, you can use dry thyme. Use half as much. And I'm just pulling it against the actual stem. And if you have young thyme, the front part of the stem will break off, but don't worry. Have a little fun, go a little crazy, you know. Okay, I've already got some thyme in here, and I'm going to just go ahead and put that right in the bowl with all those other herbs. Look at that. The nutrition in herbs, too. There are a lot of minerals in herbs you probably didn't know about. Probably vitamin K. And you know, they used thyme during the First World War as a astringent to kill bacteria. Okay, now we've got our dill. As I was singing, I pulled all the stems off the dill. Now I'm going to do the chiffonade again. We have to act like we don't care, like we are French. We don't care with those people out there who are all those professionals. Oh, just kidding. In the kitchen, we do things very quickly. Hiya, voila, you see? Okay, and we clean off our board. I'm going to throw a little bit of salt in there, right? And now a little bit of breadcrumb. I don't remember how much. Again, the website will tell you. Now, we've got some kind of rough chopped walnuts. I think you could run these through a fruit processor or go a little crazy. After all, I'm not here to clean up the studio afterwards, right? It doesn't really matter. Okay, here we go. That's good enough. You can grind them in your food processor, make them like a powder, or if you like the nice bite of crunch of walnut, just throw them in there like that. That's how I bought them, you know? Save some time. Okay. Now, I'm taking my best tool, and I'm going to mix all this together. We've got the tarragon, and the oregano, and the thyme, and the dill, and the breadcrumbs, and the walnuts, and okay, now, a very unusual ingredient. This is called an egg. Okay, we're going to crack our egg like so. And I know I brought a whisk. I don't see it. I'm not worried. I'm not going to use my best tool. I'm going to whip my egg with my tongs. Yes, you saw it here first. Copy me at home if you must, but I don't recommend it. Okay, we've got some egg. Okay, good. Now for the challenge. This is the challenge, actually getting the cheese out of the tube. The trick is, make sure it's nice and cold. When you're working with goat cheese, make sure it's nice and cold. We're putting a slit down the edge like so. Okay, and it's kind of soft. It's under these gorgeous lights that are made me to look like a movie star here, these beautiful lights, but it's not so good for the fromage, okay? So we'll put that there. Now, this is a tool that you all have in your bathroom medicine cabinets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to use dental floss. And I promised the staff I would floss all their teeth later. So you take this dental floss and you go, oh, just kidding. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're taking our dental floss, we're going to slice our fromage like so. And trust me when I say this is great to do this because you get thinner slices, you get more out of your cheese, you know. Nobody wants a big hunk of goat cheese. Well, I want a big hunk of goat cheese, but we won't go there. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to turn on our stove. We're going to wipe off our hands. All the conveniences at home here at the Pace Kitchen. Okay, now we've got our egg. We've got our breadcrumb mixture. Now, what is in the yellow cup? The yellow cup is the walnut oil, okay? Now, I'm cooking under a propane stove, but it is a portable propane. It is like rocket fuel, so I have to be very careful. So remember, if I burn it, they have to eat it here at Pace Television, so they're very careful to make sure I don't mess up the food. Okay, we're going to get that really hot. We're going to take and dip one in the beautiful egg mixture, and then we're going to press all those gorgeous crumbs and the herbs and the salt. I get excited about food here. Okay, the next one, like so. You know, we have all these delicious recipes on the Pace website, but there's something I want to share with you. When it comes to singing French music as a singer, it is a very difficult thing because everyone has an idea of how things should be pronounced. Some people will say ma petite chou, some will my petite chou, and you have to, you know, keep your mouth circled like you're kissing. It is one of those songs, John, that it's very difficult for singers, you know?
No.
It just really gets to my heart, drives me crazy, you know? People make fun of my French. It drives me crazy. And while I sing about it, I'll be browning the goat cheese. Quiche, fromage, and escargot, ma petite chou, and French Bordeaux, crêpes Suzette, herbes de Provence, are all the French words I can pronounce. Please don't listen very close. My French is pretty gross, especially to a Frenchman. I have spent a lot of dough to make my accent flow while singing in this language. Oh, if I could only say I parlez-vous français, my life would be so good. Lord, could sing Pia with no qualms at all. Look out, Chevalier, I'm gonna fish this one. Oh, if I could only say I parle français. Un tout petit peu. really wish I could, you know. Thank you, John. Oh, we have fun here at Pace Studios. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be turning these gorgeous goat cheese patties that are browning just beautifully in my dish here, like so. And you're going to see they're starting to brown. I have to be very careful when I'm working with the stove, but I don't think that's anything less than perfection, that color there. You see that? Is that gorgeous or gorgeous? Oh, it is magnifique. I lost my head. All right, here we go. Now we're going to let those continue to brown. And while we do, I'm going to show you now how to whip up a very delicious vinaigrette. Oh, this is the best part of the salad, the vinaigrette. What we're going to start off with, it's for one thing you should know that it's very, very simple. It is not rocket science. And it really is going to be up to you with respect to the balance, okay? I'm today using a raspberry vinaigrette. There are raspberry barbecue sauces that you could use and add an apple cider vinegar vinaigrette. But I'm going to use a raspberry vinaigrette. Actually, this is a vinegar, a balsamic. It's as thick as Hershey syrup. I'm going to start with that. This is kind of an indulgence. It can be a little pricey. This is an old balsamic. Now I'm going to add a good olive oil. And whenever you're making your own salad dressing, use a good olive oil. You can get the less expensive stuff for when you're mixing it with a lot of other things. But when you're making it in a dressing, you want it to be very nice. This is an extra virgin olive oil. And I'm pretty much doing it 2 to 1. So whatever you decide to do. Okay, now a little bit of salt. Would you rather key? My fancy shaker there without a lid. And then a pinch of sugar. Not too much because my vinegar is old and sweet. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to mash a clove of garlic. John, you love the garlic, eh? The thing with garlic is if you eat it, everybody around you's got to eat it or it's going to be problematic, especially if you're a singer. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, darling, I love you. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to mash that garlic even more. And mash it more till it's really fine. You could use a garlic press if you want. I'm going to put that in there, okay? I'm going to whisk it up. It's a nice consistency. You know, because I'm making so much today, because I have a big crew, I think I'm going to make more. I'm going to add a little more vinegar. It's very thick. Don't want to go overboard. A little more olive oil. We will speak like this. Oh, c'est magnifique. The piece de résistance. I'm giving you every French word in my vocabulary. Un, deux, trois. And my godfather should have taught me more. Actually, in my second book, the villain is French. Okay, now we've got this gorgeous, like you wouldn't believe, spinach that's been washed. I'm going to take a leaf. This is how you test your salad dressing. It is perfect. Perfect balance of sweet and salty. Perfect garlic. Now we're going to take. Now I know JR's coming, but before he comes, I'm going to put this warm goat cheese right on top of this, like so. If you want to serve it this way, this is great. Another thing you could do is you could serve it by plate. And how you would do that is you just put a little of this beautiful spinach on a plate. Not too much. You don't want to kill them with the salad. One of the goat cheese discs, okay? And then at this point, I would drizzle a little of the vinaigrette on there, just a little. Don't go crazy, you know, just a little. Oh, perfection. Maybe just a splash of pepper. Oh, wait till JR comes in and he will find me irresistible. Okay, we'll set this here for when he comes in. Oh, JR, ma petite chou. I have a salad for, oh, there you are.
A rose for the star.
Oh, you are very nice. And you have such great taste, too.
I'll just take this.
No, it's not the right one. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my dear. Wait, that's French. No. Listen, I want you to try the goat cheese with the spinach.
Nobody out there is going to know how wonderful this smells. We need smell-o-vision on television.
I've been saying that for years. Yeah. Except on the days I don't shower. Oh, no. That would, no, never mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put all of these goat cheese over here. And you don't have to be delicate, you know.
Well, I feel a little guilty because there's all those Pace crew members out there salivating.
Oh, but not to worry.
Waiting to
I have,
stampede in
look,
there.
I have plenty, and look, even more. And besides, the first rule I learned when I learned to cook on television was you must always feed the staff or they'll always give you too many close-ups in the wrong place. Is that gorgeous?
It's magnificent.
And can you taste the herbs and the goat cheese? Oh, it's so fresh. And you know, it brings me to this. Simple pleasures. I mean, fresh herbs are such a neat, simple pleasure. And I'm gonna show everyone in the Pace viewing audience a really neat, simple pleasure that will have to do with putting dry herbs together and making a beautiful herbs de Provence. But do you know what a simple pleasure is?
Are we talking food, right?
No, we could be anything. It could be as simple as hanging your clothes on the clothesline, the smell of freshly cleaned sheets, shaved legs and freshly cleaned sheets. I mean, little simple pleasures, all kinds of things. What about you? You said something about going home and putting your feet up and drinking a margarita, I think was what you said.
I think one of your goat cheese salads at home while with my feet up would be even better.
I think so too. All right.
Listening to your music, divine.
Well, JR, it's been very lovely being with you today.
It's
I hope
always
you'll
good.
stand by so I can share the simple pleasure with you. But eat up.
Try to get rid of me.
Okay, all right. All right.
The dressing is fantastic.
Tangy, salty, sweet, a little bit of garlic, you know, but just light enough. You don't want to go crazy. And again, you could use a barbecue sauce. You could mix it with a little apple cider vinegar to thin it out if you needed to. But a lot of body in that, huh?
Boy, you put this stuff in a bottle and people would whip it off the shelves.
Excellent, excellent. And you know, really, truly, that's a lunch. We certainly have had fun. And now I hope that all of you will try this recipe at home. I hope you will speak. Now, you must speak, JL, say au revoir.
Au revoir.
With your mouth like a kiss.
Yes, it is soon time for us to say au revoir.
Oh, perfect. Look that way.
Look this way.
Thank you so much for being my
Thank you.
host.
I love it.
Oh, it's
I
awesome.
know the crew will love it.
Oh, I hope so
I
too.
hope you hurry back and see us again at Pace.
You bet. I hope so
Good,
too.
good.
Thank you so much. All
It's
right.
going to be fun and it's going to be delicious.
Well, I'm going to be plating up this delicious food for the staff, and the goat cheese is still warm. Let's see.
It is terrific.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you very, very soon. Come stand by because we're going to do simple pleasures in just a moment. So stand by. This is my favorite program, and we talk about something that is a simple pleasure in life, whether it be, as I mentioned before, hanging your clothes on a clothesline, sunbathing, just reading your favorite old book several times. Well, today I have one of my favorite simple pleasures, and it's herbs de Provence. Herbs de Provence are a mixture of herbs, very French, and it makes a great gift, and it also makes a great main ingredient when you want to make some chicken. Makes chicken amazing. And this is what it's required. We need 1 cup of basil. Seems like a lot, but you're going to make a lot, and you can give it away as a gift. 3/4 cup of thyme. This is all dry herbs that I've purchased in bulk. 1/2 cup of summer savory or winter savory. You can grow this here in San Diego, or you can order it online. It's kind of hard to find. 1/2 cup of the savory, I measured that in advance. 1/3 cup of oregano. All these gorgeous herbs, and you're not going to believe what's coming next. We've got 1/4 cup of dried rubbed sage. I'm just going to eyeball that. I love the sage, okay. And then we're going to do 1/8 cup of fennel seeds, and there goes that very beautiful licoricey flavor, 1/8 cup of the fennel seeds. And then the piece de resistance, which I've said several times during the show, the lavender blossoms, 1/8 cup. If you grow lavender, you want to harvest it, let it dry, and then you pull them off the stem, and it makes a great addition. We're going to mix all of this together beautifully with our hands. We're mixing this all together. That's perfect, perfect. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to put this on a piece of wax paper, like so, and it's all mixed beautifully. And then I have a really pretty jar, and I'm going to take this like so and put it right in my jar. You see? And now whenever I want to make a nice, simple, oh, I made a mess, that's okay. Whenever I want to make a nice, simple chicken dish. I take, for instance, if I'm going to have a party and it's like last minute, I'll buy some chicken wings, party wings. I'll put a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and then I'll simply take my herbes de Provence and I coat them and I bake them at 325 for an hour and a half until they start to get brown. You must go longer than an hour because you want them to be tender. There's nothing worse than a tough chicken drumstick, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a beautiful drumstick with all of our salads here. It's just going to be gorgeous. So really, this is just a perfect lunch. So that is my simple pleasure. And think of what an awesome gift it would be to receive a big jar of freshly mixed herbs. You could throw it into soups. You could put it in your salad dressing. But that's a simple pleasure. And, you know, we invite you to, you know, go onto our website at atasteofpace.net and tell us your simple pleasure. Give us a photo of it. Show us some of the ingredients, and we'll share it with our viewing audience here. We would love to have that kind of input. And we hope that you'll check out the website and see, because we've had other people who've written in and given us their simple pleasures. So we can all share in these beautiful and bountiful things that do not cost a lot, are very simple, and usually with things that you have in your house. Well, listen, I've had the best time. And I invite the staff to come and join me. We're loading up these plates, and these people have worked very hard for us. So I'm welcoming them all to come on up and enjoy and have a salad with us. Here we go.
It's been Pace's pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you,
This
JR.
time.
Thank you,
Thank
JR.
you.
It was my pleasure to be here.
So delicious.
Thank you.